You must already know a little what blood pressure is, but allow me to explain it in more detail without using complex terms. Pressure is essentially the force exerted by anything on a particular object, surface, etc. Now, relate this to blood. Blood pressure is the force exerted by blood onto the surfaces of veins and arteries. Veins are the blood vessels that carry deoxygenated or impure blood, which is rich in carbon dioxide, from the body towards the heart. Arteries are the blood vessels that carry oxygenated or pure blood from the heart to the body. Lungs play a vital role in the oxygenation of blood and in the removal of carbon dioxide from the blood. Similarly, these valves in the walls of the heart play a role in blood pressure. It is measured by a device called a sphygmomanometer, or in common terms, a BP machine. The measuring unit is mmHg. There are two parts to a generic blood pressure number, with 120/80 mmHg being normal BP. The first number, 120 or any other number that is written first, is the systolic blood pressure. Systole is due to the contraction of heart muscles. So when the heart contracts, it creates pressure on the arteries. This is known as systolic blood pressure. The second number, 80 or any other number written after the systolic blood pressure, is the diastolic blood pressure. Diastole or diastolic blood pressure is the pressure on the arteries when the heart is not beating or is at rest. So, a blood pressure of 120/80 mmHg is considered perfect or adequate. Numbers above and below this indicate that something is going wrong. Now, let's understand hypertension and hypotension. Hypertension. Let's begin with hypertension. In hypertension, any blood pressure above 120/80 mmHg signifies hypertension. In systolic BP, anything from 120 to 130 millimeters of mercury, but with the diastolic BP not over 80 millimeters of mercury, shows elevated BP. But above 130/85 mmHg shows high BP, which is the first stage of hypertension. Any BP above 140/90 mmHg shows the second stage of hypertension. It is necessary to visit your doctor during the initial stages of hypertension to maintain it and decrease further complications. A BP equal to or greater than 180/120 mmHg is an emergency condition. Contact emergency services immediately. Please note the symptoms for hypertension include nosebleeds, restlessness, shortness of breath, etc. Possible reasons for hypertension include stress, age, geographical factors, etc. Now, let's move on to understand hypotension. Hypotension. Hypotension is just the opposite of hypertension. In hypotension, the blood pressure falls below the normal range of 120/80 mmHg. Any blood pressure below 90 and 60 is considered hypotension. A sudden drop in blood pressure may be fatal. Even so, blood pressure ranging from 110 to 118 and 70 to 78 may not show symptoms of hypotension, depending on the individual. If you experience such symptoms, report to your doctor immediately. Please note the symptoms include lightheadedness, dizziness, confusion, fatigue. Possible reasons for hypotension include being exposed to the sun for long periods of time, remaining in a hot bathtub/shower for extended periods of time, time of the day, dehydration, etc. So, in a nutshell, blood pressure is the pressure exerted by the blood onto the blood vessels. Hypertension or high BP is elevated blood pressure above 120/80 mmHg, and hypotension or low BP is decreased blood pressure below 120 to 80 mmHg. Blood pressure is measured by a sphygmomanometer or BP machine, and the unit is mmHg. I hope I have explained these terms in simpler terms.